if you're in an environment, a good environment, working environment that fosters your professional growth and development, then the people around you are going to help you and support you, and try to make it so that you don't repeat those mistakes, and they'll be understanding. So becoming more comfortable with like knowing that mistakes will happen from time to time has helped me immensely. So I would just say that just try not to stress too much if you make a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. It's basic. One of those things, like not being afraid to make a mistake. Being able to learn from your mistakes and bettering yourself in that aspect.
All right. I would say just don't be afraid to set up informational interviews. It's something where for me, I think I did my first informational interview when I was about like 24 or 25. And it's just the moment I did that, a lot of people, well, this is a sync room, so a lot of y'all probably know Jim Malone. That's one of the first people I did an informational interview with. And it just led me on a whole entire path to like almost a domino effect to where I am today. So I would say, just don't be afraid to set those up, have the right questions, and also shoot for the stars with it. You can go straight up to the head, Alex Patsavas at Netflix. You can start there. You just don't be afraid, because what's the worst that's going to happen? You don't get a response to an email. But if you do, and you hit them with the right questions, you might end up with an internship or entry-level job.
Yeah, it's always good. Don't be afraid to go forward and stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. Bryan?
And expanding on what everybody obviously said, another thing I would add is it might take a second out of school to kind of figure out what you want to do as far as, kind of where you want to go in this industry. When I first graduated school, I had an internship at Concord Music Group doing some A&R stuff, and then kind of went through the A&R field for a few years and ended up at some different labels like Interscope and stuff. And I kind of, I enjoyed it, but then there was definitely a part of me that kind of felt like there was something that was kind of off a little bit. And, it definitely took me a little bit of time to kind of work through that and kind of land in a spot, where I am much happier now and kind of feel that my skills is, not only as, because I'm a musician as well, but, just kind of as a person, like everybody else said, this is a job where or a field where networking is extremely important. It's all, extremely relationship based. And, so I would say that that's definitely something that I would also, wish I would have known that, it's not the second you graduate, you're 23, 22 years old. It's not the end of the world if you, take a few jobs to figure out what you want to do, really, so that's what I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I remember someone told me when I was younger, it's not always where you start, but where you finish. So, it might take you some sidetracks, to get where you are, but you'll get there eventually.
Exactly.
Definitely. All right. Satya. Sorry, man, I'm kind of butchering your name. Sorry about
that. I'm gonna echo what Rashad said, really hardcore. I would say you're gonna get a lot more no's than yeses when you're starting out, or just continuously. And for every yes you get, there's probably been 6 no's. My internet's saying it's being shitty right now, so apologies if it's going off. But I mean, I've had so many is it working? Sorry. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, good.
I've had so many like disappointments, more than any successes I've had. And I think one thing I wish I knew coming out of college is that, you're not maybe you'll get lucky, but you're probably not going to get the dream job out of college. And I certainly didn't. I got jobs that were pretty far away from what I wanted to do, but they were sync adjacent. And every single job I tried to meet more people. Like Rashad and I worked together in the UMPG building, and we're still doing stuff together today. And the two of us, I'm not going to speak on your behalf, but I think we were both not doing exactly what we wanted to do when we were there. But we both continued to make connections and meet people. And just like what he was saying is taking those calls, doing cold emails. I can't say that enough. Cold emails are everything. If you are kind and genuinely open to talking to people, people will generally give you, not always, but like 5 minutes of their day, and that can lead somewhere a million years later. So I would say just obviously networking is so important, but don't be afraid to kind of ask people for a few minutes of their time. People are really kind, but also, you know, it's not going to perfect out of college. It really rarely is. It's so competitive, but you can kind of keep building and building to get where you want to go.
Yeah, definitely. And going on LinkedIn and going to the social media places to connect with people, or, you know, like you said, asking for time out of the day to talk to you, you know, can go a long way. Sometimes they might not answer it right away, or, you know, a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but, you know, you'll get to that meeting one time. So
really quick, I just want to piggyback on what Satya was saying. That's such a good point, that like when you said something about like being sync adjacent, like even in that journey, you know, in all of our journeys, however you get there, take what you learned from all of those different, you know, opportunities, because all that stuff will come into play, whether it's organization or time management, or, you know, how to talk to this person, or what a publisher is, or whatever. Like, just be a sponge everywhere you go, even if you feel like it's not exactly like she was saying, like where you may see yourself, like all the experience that you learn is useful. So don't ever feel like, oh, this is not exactly what I wanted. Try to get the most out of, you know, out of that situation. Like she was saying, like you never know who you'll run into. And if that person happens to be the head of, you know, Netflix or something, and you were a receptionist, but they saw that you were working super hard and you were always eager to learn or eager to help in or step in, you know, you just never know, like opportunities can come from anywhere. So
yeah, definitely.
I might be dating myself and y'all are a young crowd, but Charisse, just like what you're saying, it's literally just like Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi had old boy doing the little painting the fence. And, you know, he's like, yo, this is boring. This isn't, I want to be doing like backflips and kicks. And then boom, before you know it, like all that fundamental wax on, wax off, it's looking fly once you're in a fight and doing your thing. So similar to that, like you're going to do stuff you don't like, but it's going to be those intangibles that you'll be able to piece all together and look dope eventually.